Jobsite India wishes a very good morning and welcomes all aspirants. Day to day incidents are most important part in your competitive exams like Staff Selection Commission, Union Public Service Commissions, railways, banks, management, and others, as well as very helpful to those who want to keep themselves up to date. You all are requested to enjoy this informative video till end without skipping. Without further delay, let's start. RBI approves reappointment of Biswabir Ahuja as MD RBL. The Reserve Bank of India has approved the appointment of Biswabir Ahuja as the Managing Director and CEO of RBL Bank for 1 year period with effect from June 30, 2021. He has been the Managing Director and CEO of RBL Bank since June 30, 2010. Before RBL Bank, Ahuja was the Managing Director and CEO of Bank of America, India. RBL Bank, formerly known as Ratnakar Bank, is an Indian private sector bank headquartered in Mumbai and founded in 1943. So let's move to the next slide. The Asia University Ranking 2021 released. Times Higher Education Asia University Ranking 2021 IISC or Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore ranked at 37th position. IIT Ropar is placed at 55th rank and IIT Indore at 78th rank among the top 100 universities. Tsinghua University, China has gained the first position in the Asia University Ranking 2021. The second place is also secured by China's Peking University. The third and fifth ranks have been secured by Singapore University, whereas the University of Hong Kong is at fourth rank. Sure, that's a very important information. Let's move to our next slide. Hitendra Dave appointed as HSBC India CEO. The Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited (HSBC) on Monday announced the appointment of Hitendra Dave as Chief Executive Officer of HSBC India, subject to receipt of regulatory approval. He has been appointed as Interim Chief Executive Officer effective June 7, 2021. So, what is the full form of HSBC? Who is the new Chief Executive Officer? All these things, all these questions may be important from this slide. Let's move to our next slide, please. Formula 1. Sergio Perez wins Azerbaijan Grand Prix after Max Verstappen crashes from lead. Sergio Perez won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in a two-lap shootout after championship leader Max Verstappen crashed while leading with a tire failure, and Lewis Hamilton went off course trying to seize the win on the standing restart. So, what are the questions may come? That in Formula 1 race, who became the winner in Azerbaijan Grand Prix, or mainly the name of the winner. Let's move to our next slide, please. A book titled 1232 Kilometer The Long Journey Home by Binod Kapri. A new book titled 1232 Kilometer The Long Journey Home by filmmaker Binod Kapri chronicles the journey of 7 migrant workers from Bihar who journeyed back home on their bicycles and reached their destination after 7 days. The book is published by HarperCollins. The nationwide lockdown in March 2020 forced thousands of migrants workers to return to their native villages by covering thousands of kilometers on foot. So, what are the important questions may come from here? That who has written this book? What was the situation and why this book been written by the writer, and by profession the writer is what? So these are the important questions may come. So let's move to our next slide please. Scientists confirm discovery of Australia's largest dinosaur, 2 stories tall and a basketball court long. A new species of dinosaur discovered in Australia has been confirmed as the largest ever found in the country and one of the biggest in the world. The fossilized skeleton, nicknamed Cooper, was found in southwest Queensland in 2007 at Cooper Creek in the Eromanga Basin. It is estimated to have stood at 5 to 6.5 meters or 16 to 21 feet high and measured 25 to 30 meters, that is 82 to 98 feet in length, which would make it Australia's biggest dinosaur. Based on the preserved limb size comparisons, this new dinosaur is estimated to be in the top 5 largest in the world, said Robin Mackenzie, a director of the Eromanga Natural History Museum. So, what are the questions may come from here? That from where scientists the discovery of Australia's largest dinosaur? That is, what is the fossilized skeleton nicknamed? Then, what is the height? What is the length? And who is the director of ENHM or Eromanga Natural History Museum? So these are the questions may come. Let's move to our next slide please. Securities and Exchange Board of India or Sebi bans new Franklin Templeton debt funds for 2 years, imposes 5 crore rupees penalty. The market regulator on Monday barred Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund from launching any new debt schemes for 2 years after a probe into its sudden closure of 6 credit funds last year found serious lapses and violations. The decision by the Securities and Exchange Board of India (SEBI) is a major setback for Franklin Templeton, one of India's most prominent fund houses in fixed income, with assets under management or AUM of over 825 billion rupees or $11.33 billion as of the end of March. So, what are the questions may come from here? What is the full form of SEBI? How much penalty? It's imposed? So, what is the full form of FTMF? Sure, all these things. So these are the questions may come from this slide. So let's move to our next slide, please. Let's have some information about SEBI or Securities and Exchange Board of India. When it was formed on 12th April 1988. And what is the headquarters of this? Mumbai, Maharashtra. And who is the present chairman of SEBI? He is Mr. Ajay Tyagi. Sure, let's move to our next slide, please. Convergence Energy to develop EV charging ecosystem in India jointly with other companies. Convergence Energy Services Limited (CESL) is a new subsidiary of state-owned Energy Efficiency Services Limited, which itself is a joint venture of public sector companies including TVS Motor Company under the Ministry of Power. And on the occasion of the World Environment Day 2021, announced a number of new partnerships and collaborations with regards to develop charging infrastructure for electric vehicles in India. So, what are the questions may come from here? What is the full form of CESL? Then on World Environment Day 2021, what's been promised, or what are the other questions may also come from here. Okay. Maharashtra first time MP fined rupees 2 lakh for fake cust papers. Independent MP from Maharashtra, Navneet Kaur Rana, was today fined rupees 2 lakh by the Bombay High Court for submitting a fake caste certificate. The first time member of parliament from Amravati, the second largest city in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, now faces the prospect of losing her seat. However, the court is silent on that. Mrs. Kaur, 35, speaks 7 languages and is among the 8 women lawmakers from Maharashtra. So, what are the questions may come? What is the name of this MP who has been fined? So, where does she belong? What is her age? All these things. Or which court has fined her? These are the most important questions may arise from this slide. Education Minister releases guidelines to develop e-content for differently abled children. The Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has appointed and approved the guidelines to develop e-content for children with disabilities CWD on 8 June 2021. For the first time, an official statement said an attempt was made to prepare guidelines for CWD, also referred as children with special needs CWSN. Children show that the goal of inclusive education is fulfilled. The committee submitted a report titled Guidelines for the Development of E-Content for Children with Disabilities, comprising of 11 sections and 2 appendices. So, what are the questions may come? Who is the Education Minister of India right now? What is the full form of CWD? And what is CWSN? So, all these questions are mostly important that may come from this slide. So, let's move to our next slide, please. Sunil Chatri surpasses Lionel Messi's tally of international goals. Indian football talisman Sunil Chatri has surpassed Argentina's global superstar Lionel Messi to become the second highest active international goal scorer with 74 strikes. Now stands only behind Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo 103. The 36-year-old Chatri achieved the feat with his brace against Bangladesh in the joint preliminary qualifying round match for 2022 FIFA World Cup and 2023 AFC Asian Cup on Monday night. So, this is a definitely important point for Indian footballer. So, firstly, who is that footballer? Whom he crossed? Whom or who is ahead of him? What is the difference between their goals? And in which match he has scored this? So, all these are the important questions that may come from this slide. So, let's move to our next slide, please. Ranjit Singh Desale appointed as World Bank Education Advisor. Ranjit Singh Desale, a primary teacher from Maharashtra's Solapur, who won the Global Teacher Prize 2020, has been appointed as the World Bank Education Advisor for the period June 2021 to June 2024. So, from this slide, the questions may come that who became The World Bank Education Advisor. So definitely Ranjit Singh Desale. By profession, what is he? From which location he belong? In 2020, what prize he received? And from which time to which time he will be the World Bank Education Advisor? So these are the important questions. Let's move to our next slide, please. Let's check what is the question of the day. So today's question of the day is, what is the full form of CWSN? As you have noticed all the slides or you have listened to me very carefully, then it will be very easy for you all to answer me. You all are requested to comment the answer. Thank you for watching till end. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please attempt our current affairs test series, current affairs quiz for your revision purposes. The link is in our description box. Please do subscribe, like, and share with your acquaintances. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for latest updates. Till our next video, do take care of yourself and have a great day ahead. Thank you once again.